If you've ever seen Ocean's 11, you might have noticed something weird about this scene. Maybe your eye registered it as visually different from the rest of the movie, but you weren't sure how to explain it or why they shot it like this, why they changed it. There's something seriously cool going on here, and I want to briefly tell you what it is. Director Steven Soderbergh and his cinematographer, Steven Soderbergh? Anyway, Soderbergh knows his way around a camera. Film cameras work by taking a rapid series of still photographs and playing them back at the same rate they were recorded at, the frame rate, to recreate the sensation of real motion, hence motion picture. Part of what's happening in this scene is a process called step printing. I won't unpack that here, but it's a frame duplication process that gives the footage a strobing, slow motion look. Coinciding with the frame rate and optional trickery, a film camera has a device called a shutter. The shutter rotates in and out of the way of the film frame, sometimes allowing light to hit the film and expose it, sometimes blocking it. In a standard movie, this happens 24 times per second, so this is a fast process. The exposed film frame is moved out of position to make way for the next frame during the window when the shutter is blocking the light from view. Now, here's where things get interesting. You'll notice this shutter is a semicircle, or a 180-degree shutter. A director or cinematographer can choose the shape of this shutter, the shutter angle, to manipulate how much time a film frame is exposed to light before it is moved out of position to make way for the next frame of film. The end result of changing the shutter angle, therefore, is you change how much motion is captured in a film frame. This can have significant effects on how the camera captures the on-screen action. A wider shutter angle means more motion is captured on each frame, resulting in motion blur. This is because an object in motion starts at some point A and ends at some point B during the fraction of a second the film frame is exposed, and that whole A to B motion is captured in a smear or blur on the screen. As you narrow the shutter angle, you narrow that exposure time, so now the object travels less across a single frame, resulting in less blur, more clarity. So, what does this have to do with Ocean's 11?
You think we need one more?
The Chicago train scene introduces audiences to Linus, who is a fiendishly good pickpocket. In the hands of a lesser director, this might have been an unremarkable scene showing us a semi-intelligible pull, or no pull at all, and we'd get the point. But Soderbergh does not settle for unremarkable. For this scene, I believe Soderbergh is combining step printing with a narrow shutter angle, meaning the frames are exposed for a fraction of the usual time, capturing that same fraction of motion blur. First of all, it looks incredibly cool, and Ocean's 11 is a movie where part of the charm is everything is incredibly cool. Shooting it on a train fills the frame with movement. Train passengers sway back and forth, accentuating the stuttered visual look. Come on. Second, it immediately catches your attention. Whether or not you register the visual change, your eye absolutely does. This matters because Linus's quick movement is a detail we need to understand for a later story beat. By changing up the visual language, Soderbergh is pulling people in to make sure they don't miss the grab. Third, decreasing the shutter angle makes the freeze frames work. Check out these two frames. They're crisp, legible. You can make out what's happening. Linus snatching the wallet is fast. A more traditional shutter angle, longer exposure time, more motion blur, would render these movements unintelligible when viewed frozen. Look about what happened to the hands here in Mission Impossible Fallout if they were freeze-framed. Or just look at this freeze frame that ends Ocean's 12. Catherine Zeta-Jones is unrecognizable. Instead, we can freeze on the moment Linus sticks his hand into the jacket, and again when he pulls out the wallet, and both frames are relatively clear. So, with a couple tweaks, Soderbergh has added aesthetic punch, draws attention to an important narrative beat, and solves a technical issue. All in one tidy, elegant flourish. Absolute king status.